All right, y'all. I am trying a new filming setup. I'm trying a new microphone setup, but I wanted to dive right into this and show y'all my sketchbook 1 tour. So I say all that to say, so as you can see here, it is misspelled. I wanted, I was trying out my Posca markers for the first time, and I wanted to just write on here sketchbook. And somehow along the way, I got so caught up in doing the opposite of the colors of my Posca pens that I forgot the H. So yeah, but I got it right on the spine. Like, I got it right on the spine. And that's all that matters, I think, in my opinion. I wanted to see what the markers would work with on fabric. So, and this is a fabric. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Let me see. It is a fabric cover. So I want to just do a flip through. This is my first flip through of an actual physical sketchbook. I think I did a digital art flip through a while back. But yeah, this is just my first one. So this is the opening page. This is the kind of like where I wanted to do the staple, my sketchbook, what vibe I wanted to go with. So I wanted to do very doodle-esque. I love doing bubble letters, so this was just something I was comfortable with doing, and I just wanted to have fun with this opening page. So if you have been following me on my Twitch, I have been doing the 642 things to draw. Me doing the prompts kind of started here. Like, I would sketch in the book and then I would come here to do the finished product. Prompt I did was rolling pins, and this was like, I wanted this to be fully me just learning how to do watercolor and exploring with that medium. So this was done on March 6th, 2023. And I will say, as a disclaimer, that as I kept going, unfortunately, I got worse and worse. I wanted to, I do end up not really dating many of the entries in this watercolor sketchbook because I think I just got lazy and I just wanted to start cranking out illustrations. So rolling pins, I think this was a favorite of mine's. Like, as you can see, I didn't really go in depth with my watercolor illustration. This was just pretty much me doodling, having fun, figuring out my line art style, and just trying my hand at it. This one was hammock. I don't know how to draw hammocks, but this was just me trying my hand at a sky, trees, all that stuff. So, yeah. And sorry, and these two are on the same day. So they're both on March 6th, 2023. Then we're going to March 7th, 2023. And this was Anchor. And I think this prompt was the first time I was actually going further into how I wanted to interpret the prompts. Like, these two were just two I just was trying my hand at. Like, this one is skunk, and as you can see, I just did the colorway of a skunk instead of actually doing a skunk on the skull. And this is the anchor, and the anchor is like the least focused thing in this entire illustration. So yeah. And then I think this is where my love for mushrooms started to pop up, because I just started having fun with the mushrooms. And then this one, we're going to jump to March 14th for both of these. So this prompt was a desk chair. And as you probably saw with the previous ones, the desk chair is the least focal object in this illustration. I definitely wanted to start incorporating colored pencils. So this is me watercoloring and then using colored pencils, and I'm also now adding more details into my illustration. So this was just me having a little bit more fun with it. And the same with this one. This prompt was Van Gogh's ear, and as you can see, this is the ear, but I kind of just made an entire story focused on Van Gogh. And I think this was my first time actually drawing a person. I think I did this live on Twitch. This was my first time drawing a person off the fly, just willy-nilly, really quick. And I can say it actually turned out better than I was expecting, but at the end of the day, still, it looks very weird. I do like the parts of the body that I put in the picture, because the story was that the pictures were talking to him, encouraging him to cut his ear off. And so therefore, you know, again, his ear is bigger than his head. So it's like, it's very interpretive if I want to go that route. And so now we're jumping to March 24th. For both of these. So this prompt was a sandwich, and I have an obsession. When I think of sandwich, I think of hamburgers, but I drew this one first, but I wanted to be a little bit more expansive with my thinking, so I made like a sub sandwich. This prompt, I was also trying like a new sketch or line art style, which was more sketch-esque than anything else. So I wanted to try like a different, like how you see urban sketchers. I wanted to try that one with pen. This is supposed to be grease, but looking at it now, it looks like breast, which is sad, but it was supposed to be like grease spots and the actual like grease dripping. This was a string quartet, and unfortunately, well, I do know what a string quartet is supposed to look like because I was in band for many years in my high school career. Unfortunately, I winged this one. The chairs don't really have a good direction. I do think I did a good job of sharing the depth of the chairs with this one by just putting marks in between the chairs and then having this as like an owl and just showing how when you're on the stage and you're looking out into the crowd, it looks like there's 1,000,001 people out there instead of just the 20 or so people that are in that first row. So I think I did a good enough job of sharing the fear of being on stage. And this one, I didn't use color pencils. I did purely pen and watercolor, and I tried to like add details with the watercolor this time instead of sticking with using the color pencil to fill in those areas. Now we're going to jump to the 26th of March. So these two were my least favorite. I think I was having a style crisis of what I exactly wanted to do when it came to my creation. So this prompt was an ottoman, and as you can see, I made some mistakes. I didn't know where I was going with this prompt, even though, you know, like the dimensions or the perspective is wrong. I'm not exactly sure what it was supposed to look like. I just kind of winged it severely. This one was a bottle opener, and for some reason I pulled out a possible kawaii like illustration. I don't know why, but this is what it is. And I could also tell that I was very heavy handed with the watercolors, that you get that glistening, that glaze with watercolor because you used more opaque color and not enough water. I do like this bottle pour. Like, this is probably my only favorite part of this is the bottle portion with the cork on top. Other than that, I didn't really care for either of these two illustrations. This is also March 26th. I think after doing all of this, I just needed something to like cleanse the palette, I guess you could say. And I just wanted to do blobs and then just do doodles inside the actual blobs. And this was fun. This guy, I really like looking at him because it's very inspired. I don't know exactly what I was thinking for him, but I like him because he's a character inside of a blob. And I've been seeing a lot of people do like blob art with characters, like facial expressions and stuff like that. So yeah, just have fun with this part of the illustration for that day. Now we're jumping to April 10th of 2023. And this is I just did another exercise. So what I did was I had put washi tape and just randomly put washi tape on both pages. And then I just watercolored the spaces. And then when I was done, I'm thinking, okay, that's done. I don't need to go any further, but I just wanted to go further for some reason. So I decided to outline the water stains. And the water stains is like, unfortunately, I thought I was doing a good enough job of putting a great solid coat on so that there wouldn't be any water stains. But that didn't happen. So I was like, let me just trace the water stains. And I like the way it looks. So this is jump to May 19th for both of these. Now, I believe that this was now when I started doing mermaid. Now, this part I was burned out with mermaid, but I wanted to try to see if I could keep going with mermaid. This prompt was Heartbreak. It was for the 9th prompt of mermaid of last year, of 2023. And I don't know. Like, at this point, I was burned out. If y'all want to see some of my more finished pieces of mermaid, you can head to my website, or you can also go to my Instagram. I think I have the finished pieces on both of those platforms. But yeah, when I started doing them in my in my sketchbook, it just wasn't working. This prompt was actually for Mermaid Date 10 of 2023, and it was Celestial. And for some reason, when I think of Celestial, I think of stars, the moon, and like clouds, the sky. So yeah, I didn't really like I did these on stream. I didn't really feel inspired to do either one of these things. I think I was still just trying to maintain doing the prompt. And as you could see, it was the May 19th. So I am at this point 9 days behind in the challenge, and yeah, I think doing the digital pieces that I did for Mermaid kind of just very much catapulted me into being fully burned out, but that's okay. That's okay. It was a great challenge to do. At the time of filming this, actually flip through, I don't know when it's going to actually hit YouTube, but the time of filming this flip through, I should have completed Inktober 2024. So yay. And so now I think this is the last prompt I did for Mermaid, and I didn't write a date or the prompt. So I have no idea what this is about, but it's a shark, fish lady, loan shark miss. I don't know what the heck this is. Maybe it was a staff. I don't know. I mean, I could see where I was trying to go with this, but I just was like, I just gave up. I was burned out. And I don't know what date this was done, but this is probably one of my favorite watercolor illustrations I've ever done. It's pickles. I did different sizes, different shapes. I did different facial expressions. I just had fun and I had a ball. I did not use color pencil. So I used the watercolor to add the shadows, to add some details, to add, you know, some embellishments. And I really do enjoy this one. I know it was done in 2023 because my tag, but other than that, I don't know what date in 2023 I did this illustration. Oh, and also let me see, do I have anything pickle-esque? Oh, I do. I have a sticker sheet, a sticker kit, and I think that's it so far, but these are the inspiration for that collection. I have an idea, but I'm not going to tell it on camera. I'm just going to let it, y'all just going to see if I do anything with it, get onto the finished product, but I have an idea for this. Okay, so now we're on to this one, and I think this is like I said, I have been focused on like urban sketches, like how people just do urban sketches, and this is, so originally I'm from St. Louis, born and raised in St. Louis, and St. Louis is known for their red brick buildings. So I just wanted to try my hand at urban sketching. So I looked up some old buildings in St. Louis, Missouri, and Soulard is one of the oldest areas in St. Louis, I believe. And I just wanted to try my hand at drawing one of the buildings, just trying my hand at urban sketching to see if I could do like sketching on location. That was just something I wanted to try. I think this one is where I also was trying to implement the white watercolor paint. And as you can see, it's very weird looking, but so be it. Or maybe this is the blue watercolor paint. I'm not exactly sure. I just know it's lighter than everything else. I couldn't get the angle right because this is actually supposed to be an angle. Like this is supposed to be more protruding out and these are supposed to be more on the sides. So I just didn't get the dimensions right, but you know, whatever, I digress. But this is just me just trying urban sketching. And this is also me for the first time putting my palette on my actual illustration. I do like it. Like it's very eye-catching. I'm amazed that this is what I was able to pull out for first time urban sketching. I just imagine if I just would have kept with it, what it would have ended up looking like. And I embraced a lot of my mistakes, like just straight sketching mistakes. And yeah, like I didn't sketch this beforehand. I legit just started drawing with the pen as I've seen urban sketchers do. And I'm amazed that this is what I was able to pull out. So I consider this a success, but I did not put fully the date. I put May 2023. So this was done in May of last year. Flipping to the other side. Now this is when I was also experimenting with multiple mediums. I decided to pull in Posca markers because I was curious to see what Posca markers and watercolors would look like. Again, the date is May 2023. So this, I had a sketch in mind, and I think this might have been a drawing prompt. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't even want to say it is if it's not. But I wanted to do something in just something off the wall, and so I did. I think dune hills inside of a bottle with the moon with the cork. I like this. Like these two spreads here are two of my favorites in the sketchbook. But I definitely just went full on creative, just trying my hand at seeing if I could do it or not. So I like this. And the Posca markers worked really well. I do like the embellishments of the gold and I don't know if you could see it really well, but the gold inside of the moon and stuff. Love it. Love it, love it. Oh boy. So this is I'm at this point, I'm on TikTok. I'm trying to find content that I can upload every day. So what I decided to start doing is just doing some sketching, and filming the entire process in short form. So this was just something I did really wonky. I just wanted to draw a skull. I just wanted to draw things, and I just started going crazy with it. This was me very much fully embracing the marry between watercolor and colored pencils. So I will put down the watercolor as the base color, and then I will use the colored pencil to just add further, like to lift the illustration a little bit. And so I really just enjoyed this a lot. I don't know what this creature is, but I'm loving him. I'm loving the way I drew this skull, all of it. I don't even know what the houses are for. Like, for example, why is the chimney so into the house here and not, like, I'm not really taking it seriously. I'm just enjoying the process. And I don't have a date on this one either. This I know was a drawing prompt. I think it was a drawing prompt, head in the clouds, I believe. Or maybe balloons and head in the cloud. This is when I started actually combining drawing prompts, as I've seen other YouTubers do, art YouTubers, and just combining certain prompts. So I think it was either head in the clouds or it was a balloon and head in the clouds was another prompt. So this one was me creating a sky. I guess this is a huge skull rock-esque situation. Mushrooms, because I can't seem to do anything without having mushrooms in a piece. And this was just me, again, marrying the color pencils with my watercolor. And just not so much playing with color theory, but just seeing in my mind what colors made sense together. And if they didn't make sense together, how could I then still use them? And if it felt right to me as an artist. So again, I don't have a date on this one either. This one was a drawing prompt. I do remember this one. This one was Milky Way. And I decided that Milky Way in my mind translated into a candy bar. Not the candy bar that's sold in stores, but it's just a candy bar. And so I put the word Milky Way on this milk carton, like how you see milk cartons where the person is, have you seen this child? I wanted to put like a skull here. And for some reason, because this is a candy bar, I wanted the chocolate dripping into the milk that was spilling out of the candy. I have a story behind every illustration I do, but for some reason, I don't think I was able to translate it as well, because with the chocolate, like the perspective isn't right on the milk coming on the chocolate coming out of the chocolate bar. And this looks more like a Smartie candy wrapper than an actual chocolate wrapper. But I was able to put like the Milky Way galaxy, or what I envisioned the Milky Way galaxy to looking like here. And yeah, I tried to color milk, whatever that was supposed to look like. And yeah, I was just very much just having fun with this, experimenting. I think this was another prompt, but I'm not putting the prompt or the date on any of this. So this was me trying a different coloring style. So I believe that this was 3 prompts. I believe it was a key, knot, and a submarine, I think, or rope, one of the two. And this was just me wanting to create an entire art studio, because that's why I was like, I could just put them on an easel, a large easel, and just have that set up. But this was me trying a different coloring way, because I had done, I believe at this point I was doing my large art pieces digital on Procreate. And I just wanted to try to see if I can incorporate that same coloring style into my watercolors. And as you can see, I've only done it this far on the wall and on the floor and this part. And then I just kind of just stopped doing it once I got further across the page. But yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, I can definitely see in moments and times where I was inspired to do certain things, and then when I kind of just realized it didn't serve a purpose anymore, and to just stop. I'm actually very proud of how I did this lamp over the table to showcase the light over the table. And I'm actually kind of proud of how I did the canvas that I would have been working on. And I say that with quotations because there's nobody in the seat, but yeah. And to have my art on the wall, like, yeah. And then have the art studio, like this is supposed to have been a divider of a scene. So I think this was before I even started working on my comic. I think I had already worked on like the sketching and then just left it for the first episode. But this is supposed to have been like an end scene. And then this is supposed to have been what the art studio door looks like to get into this room. So I had a story to go with it. And so I believe this was another prompt with multiple prompts inside of it. I think it was like a gold medal maybe a planet. I'm not exactly sure all of it. I know that it was done in 2023, but I'm not exactly sure what prompts. So I was doing a disservice to myself and not actually telling or detailing what actually these prompts were for. I'm pretty sure I could just pull out the book and see, but I'm lazy, too lazy to do that right now. But yeah, I mean, this is also me trying my hand at trying different ways to draw grass and clouds. So yeah, this was a growing pains illustration. And as you can see, my watercolor is all over the place. I'm not even sure what was happening. This is also where I stopped using washi tape to do my barriers. I just started drawing a line and letting it be that being my barrier. But gosh, Lee. So now we're back at the sideways. So this August, we're in August of 2023. August 27th of 2023. So the prompt for this one was synchronized swimmer. So I actually did write the prompt here and the date here. So great job on that part. And so this, to show up synchronized swimmers, I just have fish going on a sync cycle of a phone. Like when you update your phone, there's like a sync cycle or a synchronization of information to get all the files up to date. So I just did one version of it. And then I came over this way and did another version of it. So it's like an iPhone and an Android type situation. I didn't want to leave anybody out. So this was in August of 2023. Now this one I believe might have been, I don't know what inspired this. I just wanted to try my hand at it. I wanted to be very detailed with the pen. Not necessarily with the watercolor, but with the pen. So I just did a lot of hatching. Or not hatching, but just like scratch pen marks to see what it would do. And I really do enjoy this look because it's creepy. It's not, I'm trying to get in the right frame. Okay. It's creepy. It's not conventional. There's really no rhyme or reason or sense to this. Okay, so I don't have a date, but it does say 2023. So therefore we got it. But I do like this a lot. Just being able to create creatures for no reason really, but they all look like they're sick because they all have like pink eyeballs. Oh gosh, okay. And I think this is also when I just started enjoying drawing suns. And I think this might have been after I did the astronaut in dream space, because I started just continue drawing my suns like this. So yeah. So this one, I don't know what this one is about. I don't like the color scheme in this one. I was trying to figure out how people did color selection for pieces, because I think I was having just a crisis of figuring out why, like what colors, like how to create a color palette for a piece, just off the top of your head. I did try to do more blending, and my blending is more of a not a Gaussian blur, but just having different colors, like I don't know what I'm saying, but just having two, like with the yellow and the orange, like it looks like it's together, but it's not. The purple and the pink, the red and the pink, not the red and the purple. Just looking at things like that, you know. Like I said, I don't really care for the color scheme of this one, but this was just, again, me just trying my hand at just doing what felt comfortable. So these two were prompts. I'm not exactly sure what the prompts were, or maybe not. I think this was just me wanting to. I think these are two songs that that had stuck in my head at one point, and I just wanted to create an illustration to reflect that. These were done on November 20th, 2023. This ship is called Nuck If You Book, and there's like a stick figure cat, or maybe an alien. I don't know. And then this one is Head Buster. If you grew up in the early 2000s. Or not grew up, but if you were like in middle school or high school in the early 2000s, these were like our songs, like Nuck If You Book by Crime Mob. And Head Buster, I don't think was an actual song. I think it was just the tag or thing that they kept saying in the rap song. But but here's like another alien or creature in this submarine that I think is a fish if it has an eyeball. I think this is an actual real, I don't know this, but it's supposed to be like murky, dirty water that they're swimming through. So yeah. And then this was something I just sketched, because I think at this point I really just wanted to finish the sketchbook. And this was like a cup. I had it wasn't a Stanley, but it was like a faux Stanley cup. And I just drew it real big on both pages because I really wanted to finish the sketchbook. But I made mistakes. Like, this is not a favorite. I did try my Jelly Roll gold pens to see how they would come up on paper. But yeah, I don't like the color scheme for this. Like I said, the color schemes, I was just having a crisis on how to figure out what I wanted to do with that, and it just wasn't working at all. These are more sketches I just did to fill in some space. I don't exactly know what this is supposed to be. Maybe a bottle. I don't know. I had just got my Xbox S, Series S. And I was feeling very, very gamer girlish, because it felt like I was becoming a very serious gamer with having an Xbox from a Switch, like having an actual dedicated console with, not saying the Switch isn't a dedicated console, but it's also handheld, you know, so it had multiple uses. But this is like more or less you're a dedicated gamer when you have a console, you know. So yeah, I was feeling myself. I do like this though. Like, this is very doodle like. It's just really quick, something to put on there, and I like the color scheme. So this is when I was wanting to show art through my show activism through my art. And a lot of countries were going through a lot of things at seemingly the same time, or maybe my attention towards them was coming at the same time. Like, when I was learning about one country that was being oppressed or having a conflict, I was learning about another country that was having issues and having conflict. So, you know, first, of course, was Palestine. I didn't write any dates, which I wish I would have, because then I would have, you know, known when I started learning things. So Palestine was first. I think this is the only one I've actually did like illustrations to go with the bubble lettering. But I think this was the one I was most educated on at the time. So I did one on Palestine. I did one for Sudan. And then the Congo. And at first I didn't like the bleeding, but then it meshed really well. And I hate to make it look like it was a watermelon-esque, but this was me trying my hand at doing wet on wet to see what it would look like, to see what the blend would look like. But unfortunately, it all blended together. But it does, like, it's like a stain. It's like a blood stain, and it's showing. For me, it's telling its own story. Then I did one on Haiti. I did a 2-page spread on Afghanistan. Unfortunately, because there's so much bleed through from other spreads, I have a little bit of yellow here. I did one on Afghanistan. Pages are sticking together. West Papua. I hope I'm saying that correctly. West Papua. And Ethiopia. And then I think because these were the last few spreads, I just decided to just have fun. And so I wanted to see what it would look like with a light wash. And this is probably the best I've ever done with having just, because like you don't really see water spots. Like, this looks beautiful. This looks like I am more evolved with my watercoloring and everything. This one is the only one that messed up, is because when I took the tape off, it ripped off a good portion of this paper, and I had to repaint it to keep the color there. So yeah, but it's okay. More blobs, and now I'm back to dating. So this is now May of 2024, May 7th of 2024. And then, so this is the main like illustration spread, but this is just blobs. I could have filled it in, but I just wanted to do blobs, you know, therapeutic, just doing blobs. And so this is my swatch from September of 2023. I have many more colors since then. This is from August of 2023. So yeah, I was trying to do my best. So this is more updated than this one. But yeah, that is my first sketchbook, physical sketchbook flip through. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all didn't get so overwhelmed by all the explanation and by all the details. I don't know if I'm gonna film the outro this way or if I'm gonna film the outro another way, but now I can actually put this, you know, archive this sketchbook and move on to my new sketchbook, which will be, or which already is, a mixed media sketchbook. This is my sketchbook number 2. So what I do is that regardless of what type of sketchbook I have, it depends on when I bought it. So I had 2 of these, but because I used this one, this was the next one I bought. This became my second one, and my third one is, and this is my third one. So even though I have some spreads in this one, I'm not actively in it. Like, you know, I'm not actively in it. But this one, I have a while to go before I can even finish. And this is the sketchbook I'm doing my Inktober spreads in. So this will be the next one I do an actual flip through of. Because that's just how I can organize my thoughts. So yes, this is sketchbook number, or sketchbook number 1. All completed. And now it's out to you all to be able to hear my explanation behind each illustration and to just see the progress along with me. So I thank y'all so much for watching. If this is the outro, I will talk to y'all in another video. Y'all have a safe, blessed, and wonderful rest of your day. And if this is not the actual official outro, then I guess I'll be seeing you in just a second for some other type of video. Okay, y'all. Bye.